20 AD and lived in a temple named Shaolin. He is the founder of the Chinese Zen Buddhism fiction. This has a clear history record. The Zen practice was brought in by Bodhidharma 1500 years ago and developed in China by a number of his followers in the following 100 years, becoming the major fiction of Buddhism in China. After that, Zen fiction was the main fiction in central China and Mi became the dominated fiction in southwest China and also became known in central China at the same time, introduced by several Indian monks separately in different locations. While the Buddhism made its way into China, the native Taoists have founded their own religion, named Tao. This native religion adopted the Taoism name and made Lao Dan, the writer of Tao Te Ching, as their founder. But for this religion, both Lao Dan and Zhuangzhou did not do anything and didn't even know that 1,000 years after their death they became some religious figures. However, after that, for the next 1,000 years, Tao religion has a significant development side by side with Buddhism religion in China. The interesting thing is, most of the Chinese do not mind about this type of multi-religion in their villages or cities, and usually when the days of marriage, birth, death, funeral, etc., they would go to both Tao and Buddha temples to pray and invite both Taoist and Buddhist monks to their event to do their religious things. The Chinese who care about their own health and long life will try to learn both Taoist and Buddhist exercises without caring their religious content and differences. The only thing they care is their own health. The difference of Tao and Buddha is only by their look, but none is their Lord. Eventually, in the recent 1,500 years history, there have been many exercises developed by the non-religion people and in which all of the good things from Tao, Zen, and Mi are taken out and combined together. The Chinese martial art is the most popular exercise with all of these concepts. Martial art instead of martial combat, fighting, boxing, it just simply because it is the Tao and Buddhism philosophical arts. It is the combination of martial skill set and the philosophy of those exercises we have described in the above chapters, an art of Qi channel, Dantian, Nadi's chakras, the art of breathing, and especially the art of visualization. Do not think about two men are fighting in a panel trying to kill each other with their fists as martial art or anything close to it. Think about the people in the park every morning doing their Shaolin set and Taiji set with handsome shapes with healthy art. Shaolin Yujinjing was taught by Bodhidharma in the beginning to his follower monks in Shaolin Temple. Therefore, originally it must be a set of Indian yoga. But it is believed that some of his followers had very advanced Chinese medicine knowledge and they applied the theory to this yoga to interpret it into the Chinese recognizable way, so that in this Shaolin Yujinjing the terminology of nadis and chakras were replaced by Du channels and Dantian, and Prana Kundalini became Jing Qishan. It is still stretched the spinal columns as a pile of coins and breath through the mid-channel tube like in Mi yoga, but also you can read the content of prolong the tendon muscle in between those joints, the Chinese medicine theory, so it is very much Chinesealized. Therefore, a lot of people have said Yujinjing is a set of body exercise originated in China, especially compare all the movements to the Mwangwi tomb illustrations, they looks almost the same and all the theories are channeled Dantian. This proof is very strong that in the beginning there was no doubt about Bodhidharma's yoga, but after Mwangwi tomb opened in 1970s I cannot tell it is still the Chinesealized yoga or it is just a set of 5 animal play adopted by Shaolin Temple monks after Bodhidharma's time. Nevertheless, Yujinjing is very popular in China today for its all-in-one advantage. However, disregard the history and confusing about what is what, the exercise by itself is a very efficient one. By my own practice, I recommend to you the Mi methodology to do the exercise. Meaning, you can do the Yujinjing exercise according to its shaping and movement, but while you are stretch your arms and legs you should really use this movement to fully stretch your vertebral column and lead you Qi from the tail end of the column go through you mid-channel and 7 chakras. You should doing is as you are doing a set of Kundalini yoga. In the other hand, Yujinjing can be used as a perfect set of Kundalini yoga movement. We have covered in very detail about Kundalini methodology and theory, and this Yujinjing I placed here is to fulfill the practical part. Mi exercise is not only still sit meditation, but also need to have a set of physical movement altogether. Chapter 7, Inner Body Exercise of Taiji Quan. Another popular all-in-one exercise is the famous Taiji Quan. I have used Taiji Quan as an example for Jing my discussion in the theory part. Here I am going into more details and focus on the practical side of how to do it better. In the old time some translate it as Tai Chi, Tai Chi. Taiji Quan 3 characters. Quan is translated into martial art. Taiji, or used to be Tai Chi, is a word picked up from Tijing, I Ching, meaning yin yang. So if I translate it into plain English, it should be the set of martial art with the special skill to keep virtual force and solid force in balance, which is based on yin yang, e.g. mental and physical exercise philosophy. So in short, it is Taiji Quan. There are several styles of Taiji Quan, and all in the family name to start with, like Chen's Taiji Quan, Yang's Taiji Quan, Wu's Taiji Quan, and so on, but share the same philosophy. It distinguishes from the other types of martial arts by philosophy, not by styles. The head of Chen family was believed to be the first creator of Taiji Quan. In the end of Ming Dynasty, Chen was an army general with a full set of killing and martial skills in the cold weapon age. When he was retired to live in his family's village, he stopped killing and tried to live longer. Then he learnt those Taoist and Buddhist exercises from both Taoist and Buddhist temples near his place. After all, he applied all of these philosophy and ideas into one of his killing purposed martial skill set to make it as a long-lived purposed martial art exercise set and passed down to his dissidents. And then after 200 years or so, some of his dissident students told people in the Qing dynasty capital Beijing, to the rich and powerful people, that their ancestor was taught with this Taiji Quan by a Taoist god Zhang Sanfeng. And then the rich and powerful learned and loved it a lot and made it very popular. It is truly good. However, when you need to sell some very good stuff, you cannot just say it is good. As a good salesman, you do need to say something differently. When you read Taiji Quan books, you always see the name Zhang Sanfeng. So here I am, just want to give you some hint about how to read these old Chinese book. It is a tradition in China that when a not too famous person invented something or wrote some books, he made up a story either he had learned from a very famous one or just simply use a famous name as the author and publish it. But this famous person has to be dead long time ago and do not have any dissidents in the world. For example, the Taoism founder Lao Tzu had only written a 5,000 words book Tao Te Ching, Tao Te Ching, but within the 2,000 years after him, there are thousands of articles, millions of words written in his name. A Tang dynasty Taoist, Lu Dongbin, was famous for his heath art practice. He only wrote a 100 words poem in which the word mind and body exercise were first mentioned, but he did not left any set of exercise. However, in the 1,000 years history after him, dozens of Lu's mind and body or Dan Tao exercise with different styles were seen in China. Same thing to Zhang Sanfeng, he has been named after several Dan Tao practices in Taiji Quan, martial arts. Therefore, when we are trying to do the systematic research in this area, the first task is to analyze and identify all the methods, not why so-and-so's name, but by the content, theory, style of exercise, to pick up the good ones and take out the poor and fake ones. Taiji Quan is good enough now after 500 years of practices by many people in all classes, and it really does not need to have a name of Zhang Sanfeng, so that we just say Taiji Quan and describe its theory and training program without concerning the names. The family style is just some style different when you playing their sets, the basics are all the same, no matter Chan or Yang or so. The most popular one is Yang's style in the world. But when I am talking about Taiji Quan in this book, I just say Taiji Quan and will not mention names. I will discuss the principle of Taiji Quan exercise and the important points that practitioners have to follow. I will not teach the moves, set step by step, of any particular style. Inert force, inner chi, and mind directing. There are three things mentioned in Taiji Quan teachings very often: inert force, inner chi, and mind directing. First of all, remember the concept of subtle body and mind. Inner means this force is inside your channels and storages of the subtle body. Mind directing is somewhat like the subconscious training that is using the mental power to direct your inner chi. This is the subtle mind training. When I am pushing my hand out, I am not using my normal muscle power, I am guiding my inner chi from bottom dantian through Du channel to my shoulder and arm all the way to my hand, therefore using my inner force to push. This is a subconscious training to let you get used to use your inner force. In your normal subconscious you have a habit to use your muscle of your arm and hand. Use this Taiji Quan training to replace this normal habit by the inner force and make Taiji force to be your habit. For the martial art or Kung Fu exercise, usually in China we don't use the word like exercise or training. We use forge and Rifanetwo characters as one word. Forge means to make your body as strong as iron or metal. So exercise makes physical change to your body, but forge makes material change to your body. Refine means to repeat this process again and again to make your body more and more solid. Forge and refine your mind and body until you have forged out your inner force and to make you powerful both mentally and physically. This is Taiji Quan 4. Several important points should be always aware and noticed when you are playing the full set. Du and Dantian. The mentioned 7-point posture is applied here. However, Ni meditation is still sitting but Taiji Quan play is moving standing. You still must follow this posture. Imaging your hair were pulled by a virtual hand above you to straight and prolong your spinal column as a string of coins. When you breath, always sink the chi into your bottom dantian and therefore to shift your weight down to the bottom. This pull up and sink down makes your spinal column not only like a string of coins but more accurately like pulling a spring longer. This spring is also moving when you playing this martial art forward. Or to put this way, no matter you are moving, pushing, kicking or even jumping, you must always keep this spring in the same posture and the same length. Physically it is to forge and refine your spinal column. For the subtle body, this forge and refine can open and clear your du or mid nadi repeatedly to wake up your innate chi or kundalini. This is again, the all-in-one practice like Yijinjing. Relax your waist and straight your tailbone. This is very special for Taiji Quan. To relax your waist you can straight your tailbone and straight your tailbone you will feel your waist more relax. This is from the experience of exercise. But why do that? You can try this when you are walking and to feel the difference. When you relax your waist your weight core is moving down and that makes you more stable to stand and walk. This is for one. Also when your waist is relaxed your inner force can be enhanced much more. The power of push is from your feet in this case. And when the opposite push you, you can conduct his force from your hand or arm from your leg to your feet and rebound it from the ground you were standing at. But as your waist is very hard in tension, all the force would be pushed to your back and you shall fall miserably. So make this relaxed waist and straight tailbone as a habit in your Taiji Quan set playing, you will gain more inner power. Relax and more relax. Relax your waist, relax your muscle, relax your nerve and relax your mind. Anyway, relax the whole mind and body with definitely no tension. If your mind has too much thought and worry or tension at the moment, do not play Taiji Quan. Usually the first posture of Taiji Quan play is just standing there still for you to relieve your tension, clear up your mind before you move anything. When you are moving, not a single piece of muscle should be tightened. Hold the chest back in and sink your shoulder and elbows. Do not raise your chest and shoulders. This is also a demand and must be during the whole set play. This type of relax is to make your channels wide open to let chi floating more smooth. Balance and imbalance. When you are standing and moving, you must keep yourself in balance, be in absolute balance. But the balance is not equally divided into 2 feet. Most of time your weight is shifting in between your 2 feet slowly and stably from 90:10 to 80:20 to 10 hours 90 minutes and always find your body in balance and stable. Your body is always in balance but the weight between 2 feet is always in balance. Upper body and lower body should always in balance too. When you stick out of your hand or foot to reach a distance, do not let your weight hanging in the air to lose your balance and easily fall down. The same as when you moving away by your feet, the upper body shall be kept with the lower part with integrity instead of leave it on the air. The weight must always go through your waist to the leg to the feet to the ground, never leave the weight on the air so that you need to tighten your back to hang it. This is the highlighted points for people to play Taiji Quan as Taiji Quan. If you miss one of these highlights, you are not playing Taiji Quan. You can call it other martial arts or dancing or something, but no one would recognize you are doing Taiji Quan. In other words, if the set you are learning fits into all these categories, it is a set of Taiji Quan no matter they say it is Chun or Yang or Smith or John Doe. If it does not fit these points then it is not Taiji Quan no matter your master swear he is one of the Chun or Yang or the King or Taiji. To learn the set and movement is not difficult and there is no secret. You can always go to a Taiji Quan club to learn it systematically. Do not learn it by reading a book and looking at the picture in videos. That is like you are learning to ride a bicycle. No one can do it by reading how to ride bicycle and then jump it without falling. Therefore, I am not writing the movements and steps here, only tell you the highlights. But as I have pointed out, this is more important than the mechanical moves.